Good morning, everyone. I am going to show you how to make some pumpkins today. This is Joni at Granny J Clay. And first of all, I want to thank those of you that have been placing orders with me because of Emma Devost's YouTube video. Emma, I cannot thank you enough. What a sweetheart you are. So you need to go see Emma. She's at EMMADEVOST, Emma Devost. Okay, here we go. Let's make some pumpkins. Let me just show you the stamp that I'm using. It's this one. This is bigger than my littles. This is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, I'm pretty sure. Let me just bring this back in here and show you. So the widest would be the tip of the leaf to this side. It's 1.5, and then the top, yes, 1.5. It is 1.5 by 1.5. Just so you know that's a little bit bigger than my littles. So this is not so little. This is a little bit bigger. And you can see that. I'll put it in my hand so you can kind of get an idea of how big that would be. It's still not very big, but it is one bigger than my littles. So let's go. I use Sculpey Primo. And I have already rolled out this Sculpey Primo orange to a 0 on my pasta machine, my Atlas 180. And that's the widest, thickest setting. And I'm going to cut this in half because I want, let's see here. I like these to be nice and full. So I'm going to just cut this, and it'll help me too when I, let's see if I can put this down here. You can, well, you don't need to see that, I guess, right now. Okay, I'm going to texture this one, and I've got this piece of rubber, and it's for the back of a rug, when you lay a rug on the floor, so the rug won't slip around, and I just cut a piece off of it because we don't use it anymore. All right, so I'm going to put it down so I get most of the texture. Let's see what we do. I'm going to run it on a 0 again. All right, here's the reveal. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I think that's really pretty. All right, I want to do this one as well. One or the other will be the back, and one or the other will be the front. And here we go, on a 0. Now I am using, there we go. Isn't that great? That does a really nice job of putting a texture on these. And I'm going to show you, I made some last night, and I will show you, I decided to spray them with a little shellac instead of putting resin on them. And this one is still drying, but I want to show you what it looks like. Isn't that just pretty? Oh, I think that is so cute. It'd be a darling necklace or bracelet, or, you know, on a page for scrapbooking or whatever. A little child's necklace. I just think that's adorable. Let's see if it's dry enough. I can flip it here. And there's the back. And I'm going to spray the back too, because what I did was I used some Pearl-Ex on the yellow, and I used pearlescent liquid acrylic for the leaf, and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around. I'm going to make this my front and that my back, and I just I think what I'm going to do first is impress my pumpkins. So we have that taken care of. And I will get out my archival ink, acid-free, permanent, and waterproof. And I have to apologize. I'm using my clay my glass piece for making this morning. It's just so much easier. It goes so much more smoothly. I tried to adjust the lights, but hopefully this will be good. So that's permanent ink. So all I do is, and this stamp was $3.99, I believe, at Michael's. And so all I'm going to do here now is just tap, 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 tap. tap, 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 press a little bit. And what I try not to do is try not to get ink around this part. But I do. I get it there sometimes. It just seems like I can't help it sometimes. But I'll show you if that imprints onto the clay, how you can get it off. It's pretty easy. I think I showed you in another video. But okay, so I've got enough on there, if you can see. Now I'm going to imprint one. Let's see. Make sure I get it on just right. Okay. And then I'm going to press, 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 press. Lift. Isn't that the cutest? Isn't that cute? That is so cute. Now I'm going to do some more. And I see I got a little bit up here. I'm going to stick a Kleenex. I'm going to see if I can get that off. Hopefully I won't press hard enough to get it on, but if I do, that's good too, because then I can show you what I do to get it off. We'll see if it goes on the clay or not. That is too cute. All right, I want to show you something here. When I'm done with these, what I do is I take my X-Acto knife, and this will be put on my backing sheet, so it'll be fairly thick. And then I cut around it. Once I have finished that, then I'm going to go ahead and put the green on. So let's just do a few more here. Okay. These are fun to do. I got just a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. I got just a little bit. Let's see. Let me lift this up. I'm not going to adjust the camera because I'm using my old phone. It has a better camera on it. I don't know if you can see it, but it is right there. And all I'm going to do for that is I'm going to take a Q-tip. I always keep Q-tips close to me. Let's put that one back. Move that out of my way. And I have poured just a little bit of alcohol, and I dip it in this, hold my Kleenex, kind of squeeze it so there's not running alcohol, and then I just go over it. Gone. And onto my Q-tip. Easy as that. And don't press hard when you do that. It's just very, very, very easy. Okay. So I'll move my alcohol. I have spilled those little alcohol things so many times. I need to get them out of my way. All right. Now let's finish stamping here. And I got some up there again. And you know what else you can do is use the other side of your Q-tip and just go in and clean that off a little bit before you stamp it, if you happen to see some up there. And you still might get a little bit on. There might be residue, but not as much. Okay, so stamp, stamp, stamp. And I'm going to put another one about right here. I give it a pretty good push. That's why I don't put the backing on. I don't want to push on it when I have the backing on. Oh, that worked really well. I might be able to get a couple more. Let's see if I can. Yeah, then I pushed too hard again. So let's get that off like this. Not that you couldn't get it off, you know. Okay, that's not doing very well. Let me get my Kleenex in there, and I'll hold it over here so I don't drip on my clay. And I'm just going around it with my Kleenex just to see if I can get that off a little bit more. And it came off a little bit more, but we might have to do some cleanup on that one. We'll see. Well, let's see. I want to make sure I don't overlap anything, so I'm getting right down there. Oh, that did very nicely. All right. So I'm going to, and when I'm stamping, I have to remember that I'm going around the outside of it. Now look at this one. Do you see how I cut around the stem? That would be way too thin just to get right up to that, the vine part. So I go around it, but I don't go around it right up to the pumpkin. I want to leave a little bit. So let me show you what I do now. We'll bring this in. I've got to get rid of my ink or I will have a mess here. These archival inks are so great. Remember to store them upside down. I think I told you that somebody had said it, and so I started doing it. All right, here we go. As I'm doing this, I just want to thank everybody again who has placed orders with me. You have to make sure your backing piece is large enough to hold the top piece. Like right here, down here, it slants, but only a little bit. So I come around the back and I just trim off what I can't or shouldn't use. And see how I did with that. So I took that off. Now I can see more from the front, and I'll be doing some more cutting, but I just want to get some of it out of the way right now. Let's just do this. This one's going to get pretty close. There we go. And this one will be, I want to leave enough space so I have some room and a little extra space just right above the vine. So I'm going to just come in, and I think I'll just do this for now. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to cut these apart now. And I save all this clay. In fact, that's what I'm working with today. All the clay I saved from working and making these yesterday. And, okay, all right, there's good. And I'm going to cut this one up here. Bring that back, bring that back. And I'll bring this over a little bit more so you can see. Because I don't need all that extra clay around it. All right, I'm going to set some of these up here out of the way. And I'm just going to show you how to do one. There, you can see the back. The back has that print. I will show you how to make this one. I have to shake up this pearlescent liquid acrylic. I've got several colors of this. And it's so pearly and, well, you can see it, shiny. It's so pretty. And I let that, it actually dries almost immediately when you put it on. Okay, it's got a little squeeze top. But what I do is I just pour just a little bit in there. You don't need much. Let me show you. Again, these are my husband's Chobani yogurt containers that I've cleaned and I use. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with a very tiny brush. Do you see this little brush? It's itsy bitsy. Itsy bitsy. I got that at Michael's. It's a level 2 20. I don't know anything about paintbrushes. Emma does probably though. So I'm just going to, I just got a very little brush and I'm going to take this. I'm not going to cut it out until I put this on, I decided. So I'm just going to do this, and when it begins to dry, it will reveal more of the lines underneath it. But it goes on really nicely. You just have to take your time. And I just use as much as I can on the first dab that I put on. I sound hoarse this morning. I haven't been talking much yet. Maybe that's why. Okay. And Sharon, if you're watching this, I'm going to do what I told you I would do. Sharon wanted me to, she's going to buy some of these, and she wanted to know if I could make my acorns the same size as the pumpkins. The only way I can do that, because I only have one size of an acorn. Let's see, I can't talk and paint at the same time. All right. I think I need to get up here just a little bit. These are, you know, these take a little more work, a little more time, but then I go on the stem. So what I'm going to do for Sharon is I am going to show her. Okay, there's that so far. I'm going to show her what, let me just pull it out here, put this down. I've got an acorn here. And I'll roll the orange clay out again. But do you see this acorn is much smaller? This is one of my littles. And this one is only, this is about 1 inch by 1 inch. So 1 inch by 1 inch, and this is 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Just the pumpkin and the leaf. So what I'm going to do is cut around it and make it larger that way. And see if she wants that. If not, that's fine too. All right, now what I do here is I also, in fact, I will do this for you right now. I'm going to show you what I do. I want to make sure that I get this cut right. So I just cut here and here, and then I turn it a little bit, and I'll remove clay as I go. And I just follow on the outside of the pumpkin a little bit. All right, let me show you. These are a little, like I said, these are a little more labor intensive. But this one isn't too bad to cut, actually. Let me just do it again. And I kind of slant my knife into the pumpkin rather than away or straight down. And you can go back and trim some more off as you go. And I'm pretty close to the bottom on this one, so I'm going to be real careful. And what you can do, and let me just continue first here. Because this is it's stamped black, you can go back in after they're out of the oven and cooled down. And if you want to add a little black, hold on, just about there. If you want to add a little black, there we go. That over there and that over there. And I'm going to trim it up a little bit more. Just take a little bit off of that. But if you wanted to add black after this was baked, you can take just an ordinary permanent marker, black marker, and just follow the lines. I did that on a couple of the ones that I just made. I just wanted to darken them a little bit. Now, I'm going to show you what I do. Let me see if it's dry. Yeah. I've got these, they're called patty papers. I ordered them over the internet. They are 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. They fit perfectly on my tiles. And I always put one on my tile, and then I put my raw clay on top of the paper. But I had been cutting those, but I ordered these. Oh, there's 1,000 sheets. They're not very expensive. So I just pull one of these out. And what I'm going to do is I want to bow it just a little bit on the edges, not in the middle, but I'm going to press down on the edges just a little bit, and I see that I'm pulling up a little green, so I'm going to take that off right now and switch it, and then push down a little bit more. Okay, and so that kind of bows the center out just a little bit. Maybe you can tell that on here. I'm not sure if you can or not, but I like the look of that, so that's what I do. Anyway, now I'm going to bring in my little Pearl X powder. It's called Pumpkin Orange, and I'm going to take a small brush again, well, not quite as small as I had before, and I'm going to add just dabs of, let's see, let me try this one. This one's a little bit bigger, as you can see. Let me show you. Quite a bit bigger. But not too big. It'll still kind of go in in here. I don't want to paint the whole thing. I want to get in between the black lines. So I go in and I get my Pearl-Ex powder and I just a little, excuse me, I'm going to put the cap over this because I'm going to blow it a little bit. Okay. Okay, I just want a little bit so it shines just down there. And then I'm going to pick it up, get a little bit more on my brush, and I'm just going to kind of go like that on the back. Now when I spray these with shellac, they will, excuse me, I'll do the front and the back. And I always check around the edges also, which I should have done before I did the Pearl-Ex, but make sure that I'm even all the way around the edges, that it doesn't look bad. And there are some spots here, I just take my finger, run it across. Like, that's why you should do it before you do the Pearl-Ex, and that's what I did last night, and do that. Or I also have used this tool. I got this at Michael's a long time ago, but it's a rubber end here and a rubber end here, and so you can kind of roll it along if you need to. Actually, this one looks pretty good. Just want to make sure everything is okay before I do it. Yeah, that one's okay. So that's how I make these cute little pumpkins, and they are. I guess I love orange. I have found myself gravitating toward orange over the last few years. But it's such a cheerful color, isn't it? Okay, I just want to wipe that off so it doesn't get all over. I'm only going to do one for you. Now, after I put that on, if I see that I've brought that up again, brought the edges up again, or they're not where I want them, and I'm just going to take it like this and go around like this. I don't want to get the Pearl-Ex rubbed off. There we go. Okay. That one is ready to be cured in the oven. When it comes out, oh, that's just cute. I see a little bump here. I'm going to roll it. Doesn't take much to roll it. Okay. Anyway, when it comes out of the oven, I'll spray it with my bottle of shellac that I got at Home Depot. I think most any shellac would do. But that's that. Now, because Sharon had asked me about the acorn, I'm going to add that onto this video. Hopefully you won't mind. And I will roll this out and I'll be back in a minute. I actually have a pause on my old phone, so hold on. We'll see what happens. I'm back. I rolled out a piece of that clay, extra clay, and I also put a texture on it, the same texture I used for the pumpkins. And I'm just going to lay an acorn on top of here because I don't want to make them, I don't want to stamp it on the clay yet. I want to ask and see if Sharon wants this size. So, and if anybody else wants them too, I can make them bigger. But let me just show you. I've got these two different ones. They're so cool. But these are 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. These have little peaks on them. These are just more rounded. But as you will see, I'll use this one first. It gives you plenty of room where you want to put your hole, you know. Let's see if I can bring that where you can see it a little bit better. It doesn't look like it when I look in the screen, but that is centered. Or we could do this. This is my favorite. I like this one. I've used the smaller one for some of my littles. So I'm going to use that one. And then what I want to do is kind of move it up a little bit. And I will show you. Okay, now pretend that's stamped into that piece of clay. That would give you plenty of room to put some holes. I always think it's probably going to be at the top, so I left a little more room than the bottom. But you could put them on the sides too. And I'm going to bring my pumpkin that's finished in. So there you go, Sharon. That makes it about the same size, very close to it. Let me just put the, see, yeah. But of course the pumpkin stem sticks up just a little bit. So hopefully that is helpful, Sharon, so you can see it like this. And you and I can talk. We'll just talk after you watch the video. I know you're busy, you're doing some beading things. And so whenever you have the time. And for those of you that are watching still, if you choose to have them, my littles made a little bit bigger, I can do this with that too. I just don't have a larger stamp for this. So I will make do. Here's the one I just made. Here's the one I made last night and sprayed. Isn't that pretty? Let's see, I don't know if I can get this bigger or not. Let me try it once. There we go. Okay, that's it for today, everybody. God bless you all. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.